Hello there. Welcome to Give Voice to Your Vision. Sorry, I am distracted by the new technology I'm playing with here on Be Live. Super fun. Today, we are talking about 5 ways to build your online presence fearlessly, fast, and free. I am on a mission over the next week or so to share a ton of high value content around visibility. The market is changing, and I think we have an amazing opportunity, and it's highly aligned with my mission and message and work in the world. So that's what we're talking about today, how to help you give voice. When we give voice to our desire, our vision, our mission, our message, it's that giving voice moment that we actually make it manifest. We're going to go into that more over the coming weeks. Today, we're going to focus on 5 ways to build your online presence fast, free, fearlessly. I'm going to go ahead and dive right in. And we are going to talk today about how to fast track your online presence, how to find your aligned message, and how to free your confident voice. So we're going to talk about how to fast track your online presence, how to find your aligned message, how to free your confident voice and presence, why that's important and what it gets you, and how to follow your heart to financial success. This is all tied together, and how to feel great selling. And I always come back to answer comments. So if you are watching the replay, catching the replay, that's great. Still comment. Feel free to tag me or always private message me if there's something that I can answer for you, support you in, share with you that I don't cover in this training. I am here to connect with real people in the real world in real time, even if it's virtually. Everything we're going to cover today is going to be ways for you to fast track your online presence. The whole world is still coming online, believe it or not. Not everybody's here. And there's been a lot of talk in the transformation industry about the bottom falling out very soon. And so I was inspired in a moment of clarity. I watched a training with Evan Pagan. I'm reading his book called Opportunity. And some of my other mentors are showing up, and some of my meditations and quotes and inspirations from Deepak and Oprah. All this stuff kind of coincided. The synchronicity is what I look for and listen for to find my inspired action. That's one of our topics today, one of our tools. And so that kind of came together for me. That kind of came together for me this weekend. So I've decided to do these series of trainings starting with today, and how your online presence can really move forward. How will you stand out in the noise? What are the changes that are coming in the marketing industry? And technology is speeding up, and we have new apps and new things to process. I'm challenging myself to try this new Be Live tool. Say hey if you're here. And I got waves. Oh, maybe it's showing comments from Facebook. I'm so confused. Let me know if you're here. I think there's something about broadcasting from Be Live in groups right now because of the whole privacy issue. So maybe I'll start doing these on my business page just so we don't have that issue. Okay, so fast tracking your online presence, how to stand out in the new market, right? We are at the beginning still. I mean, there's still tons of people coming online. And I believe that the tools that I help people to free, that I have freed for myself, the way that I approach marketing, and many of the other people that I admire and respect are in this same mindset. And that is that how we show up. I often quote Ralph Waldo Emerson, "Who you are speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you're saying." Right? So that how we show up, especially in the transformation industry, if you're a coach, a healer, a speaker, a leader, your presence is your most valuable marketing tool and commodity and asset. And so that what's going to help us rise above the noise and gain traction, fast track our online presence, is being able to show up. And that's what we're going to talk about today, being able to be the voice, be the face of your brand. And the first E, we've got 5 E's to find the E's in online presence. I can't help it. That's the way my brain works. I can't stop myself. So I have 5 E's for you today. And the first one we're going to talk about is how to eliminate fear and self-doubt, and the need to eliminate fear and self-doubt, because sometimes fear and self-doubt can be tricky. It can trick us, and we can think that we still haven't figured out our message just right, or we still don't know what to say in a video, or that the website's not perfect, or the landing page isn't right, or the blog needs to be reviewed, and the email needs to be rewritten. And all of those things can be, so fear can manifest as procrastination. You've heard procrastination is a long word for fear, perhaps. And letting that fear, or that perfectionism, another word for fear, really, stop you, slow you down, stand in the way of moving forward and stepping in and getting into action and being seen, putting your voice, your work, your mission, your message out there. I lost that train of thought. That slows everything down. If that fear is making your decision, then it's slowing everything down, right? So we want to eliminate fear and self-doubt, but here's the secret, the insider scoop on that, the real deal on that is that we don't have to wait until that fear is eliminated, or that self-doubt is eliminated, in order to take action. As a matter of fact, taking action, especially aligned, inspired action with support, with a believing mirror reflecting your worth and your value back to you, with a champion on your side, with some input and guidance especially, but putting it out there in aligned, inspired action, getting into action, doing the work, being visible, making the post, writing the blog, sending the email, making the video. That is where the transformation lies. So we don't get to feel not afraid and have no doubt. And we may never feel that way, although I have, recent years surprised myself that I am not actually navigating fear. I used to, right? But we don't wait for that fear to be eliminated in order to start taking action. The fear lessens as we act. Okay, so that's the first E. The secret to eliminating fear and self-doubt is to begin taking inspired actions right now and get the support you need to move forward. Okay, the next E that I have for fast tracking your online presence is that we must embrace marketing. This was a huge shift for me. I had a semi-successful teaching studio in New York for 10 years and in Portland for 10 years. And I didn't like marketing. I didn't want to market. I kind of resented the fact that I have to market. And I also, was like, I really just want to do my work. The work is powerful. The transformations are happening. I don't want to have to market it or talk about it. And I hit a pretty low bottom and realized, thanks to a wonderful mentor, Christian Michelson, was able to transform my relationship to embracing marketing. And here's what he taught me. And I believed him. He said that your marketing is the biggest tool for transformation, potentially your biggest impact that you can make in the world, because more people will see your marketing than you'll ever be able to work with one-on-one, or than may ever take your programs or workshops. So that allowed me to embrace marketing. Feel the true courage is feeling the fear and acting anyway. Yay. So I'm realizing that I'm not getting to see who's here because I am in this group, I think. And the post, now it's live. There you are. Now I can see you. Hey, Farrell. Thank you for chiming in. Great. There's just that delay. So your marketing, your emails and your videos and everything that I make, that I still sometimes am like, okay, what am I going to say? I did it today, right? I even have notes and I know this stuff and I teach it all the time, but I was still like, I want it to be good. I want it to be great. I want it to make an impact. I want people to be engaged, right? There's always that little bit of charge, and moving into it and taking action is part of how that starts to shift. And I always set the intention, since Christian taught me that idea that your marketing is going to make the biggest impact in the world. So that made marketing so much easier. I didn't have to write and finish the whole masterpiece book. I didn't have to have a professional crew and copywriter and branding team in order to start making videos, because my intention was to help one person. If I can help one person, I know for a fact, I learned 20 plus years ago in a very low bottom turning point in my life, that if I'm one step ahead of someone, then I can help them. And that is where I set my heart and I set my mind and my intention before any of my marketing. Because Christian taught me that embracing marketing, that your marketing is the biggest tool to make a big change that you have. Okay. And I read all of his marketing to see how he's doing it in that one. And he sends a lot of marketing. So, every single piece, every moment of your marketing, your self-promotion is valuable, could help somebody. And let me tell you something, if you have that charge like I did around marketing and self-promotion, I was judging a lot of other people for doing it. And I had to clear that own judgment. If I'm judging it and pushing it away, I had to become persuadable myself. A lot of different ways that I was able to embrace marketing. So we're overviewing here to cover those E's. We have eliminate fear and self-doubt. And that's a process, right? But it doesn't have to take forever. It's happened very quickly for me. Embrace marketing, our second E, right? We're all to find our E's. Yeah, embrace marketing. And the tools that I've already shared with you today are going to help you start to shift your mindset. Look for where you're judging people who market, or your fear of other people judging you. And remember, your marketing, every little tiny dribble of it is meant to help at least one person, okay? And then the next thing we want to talk about in terms of fast tracking your online presence, how to build it fast, fearlessly, right? We're working on that fear piece already, yeah? Is to find your aligned message. Find your aligned message. Here's the thing, just like with the other stuff we've been talking about today, we don't necessarily find it and have it perfectly articulated and wrapped up in a pretty bow with a beautiful sales page and a website and all those things, and then put it out there, especially if you're willing to do video. That's one of the most powerful ways that I have fast-tracked my online presence. I'm smacking my fist to make a point. Has been to start teaching. Start teaching. Start teaching. Start teaching. And to do it on video, both recorded and or live, is an incredibly powerful tool. You don't even have to share those first videos. In one of my other videos here in the group, I talked about the record and release method. Yeah, so you don't even watch it. You just record it, stop it, whew, done, if you have a real charge around being on video. Again, to find your aligned message, having a mentor, studying. There's millions of people who can help you do with branding, and I love to help people find the words that feel good to say and are resonating with your clients. That's the alignment piece. So doing that is sometimes hard to see the forest for the trees when we're in it. And I still struggle with that. And I'm so supported by having a business coach and marketing mentors and other people who can mirror back and help me find those words. It's a collaborative process. Creating a business is a creative act, and creativity is a collaborative, thrives in collaboration. Yeah, these are things. I'm going fast. I'm just going to keep going fast, and you guys can watch it on slow or watch the replay because I want to give you this information. All right. So find your aligned message. And that means do the work and also get into action. Your message will get clearer and get honed and get articulated. You'll find what resonates with people, do the market research and talk to people about their learning how to speak in the language of your clients is part of finding your aligned message. But you don't have to wait to get started. Yeah. All right. And then we want to free our confident voice and presence. This gets us to our third E, which is engage your audience. And you can actually engage your audience on the earlier point about aligned message, because you could just ask them what they need, what they're looking for, and serve and support them. Learning to start to speak as if you're reading your clients' minds, and comes from actually asking them what their biggest challenges are and what they're looking for a solution to. And then to engage them from that point, once we have a sense of the language that they're using and how to bring bring it into alignment with what we're bringing through that's unique and won't exist without us. And those aligned clients are out there looking for you to bring just what you have, the way you bring it. Then to engage our audience, we want to find our confident voice and presence. And this is the thing that I think is going to help the transformation industry thrive in this time of rapid evolution. With all the technology that's happening, people are going to continue to crave human connection and human interaction. So when you can stand up and speak your aligned message in a way that resonates with your clients, they are going to be engaged. They are looking for you. And owning that confidence piece comes from having support, having the tools, up-leveling your skills where it's necessary to learn that messaging piece and how to find the language of your clients. That's something I learned and was taught, and I can still hone in on the art of persuasion in the most ethical, spiritual way. All of those things are things I continue to develop skill in, and you can too. But finding and freeing your confidence and your presence, again, happens in action. It doesn't happen before you take action. Okay? And another of our topics, our bullet points today was this idea of following your heart to financial success. And if you've done these other pieces where you're working on eliminating the fear and the self-doubt, and you're learning to embrace marketing as a tool of transformation and serving, and you're engaging your audience, you're willing to grow your confidence and your presence and find your aligned message, and you're not waiting to get it all perfect and figured out and then do it, you're learning and moving and acting in motion, then that is what will grow your confidence and your presence. And that aligned message, being willing to show up, take nothing personally, and share it with that one person who might be benefiting from you that day, and anyone else who happens to encounter that little nugget of marketing in the future, then you will find that financial success. And I believe that in the transformation industry, that's what's going to help you really rise up. I was watching something, can't remember who it was, about, the perceived value and owning your confidence and having your message resonate, and then building this online presence starts to help you understand the value, articulating your mission, your message, your transformational message, and getting it out there and starting to see people that are benefiting raises your confidence. It also helps you appreciate your own value, the value of the results that you can get. It allows you to start getting results, and it allows you to appreciate the value of the results you can help people get to. And that allows you to feel confident and aligned when it comes to charging higher prices. So the thing is, in terms of high-end coaching or high-end transformation, sometimes people will value it more because they're investing more, and you're confident and aligned and can stand calmly and with enthusiasm, right, behind those higher prices. Okay, so when you're not following your heart, it doesn't feel good to you or anyone else. Some people can be really good at making money that way, but for the people like me, like you, I think the coaches, the heart-centered, the healers, the people who want to uplift the world and make it better and empower voices and empower minorities or people who have been had suffered, people who've suffered trauma, people who've been disenfranchised, whatever your mission is. For those of us who lead with the heart, owning our value and having our confidence is incredibly important and empowering to our pocketbook, as well as our marketing, our branding, our online presence, and our message. Yeah? Fantastic. And then the last bullet point I wanted to cover today was this idea of feeling good selling. And I've already touched on it, that when you are in alignment, and you appreciate and understand and deeply embody your transformational message, including the results that people get from working with you and learning from you and sharing in your presence, then it feels great to sell, because selling is serving. and giving people the opportunity to invest with you and get the results that you provide, holding the space. They're not investing in you. They're investing with you. They're investing in themselves. Yeah. And really owning that shifts how it feels to quote unquote sell. And there's many of us have kind of a one-sided imbalanced idea in the heart-centered, purpose-driven industry that charging for our services is bad, or we love what we do so much we would do it for free. And there's some work to do on that because we're actually depriving our clients of the highest results when we do that. So the other way, there's two more E's that I want to talk to you about. And in terms of feeling great selling, and in terms of all of this, and the fourth E is this idea of embodying your message. When you have shown up and you've written the blogs and you've written the social posts and you've done it for some time and you've gotten feedback and you continue to learn and develop and hone and grow, and you don't take anything personally, you just keep serving and you put it out there, all of those things, you start to feel good about yourself, you start to trust yourself, and pretty soon you have embodied your message. And I use a ton of tools that would surprise you, that surprise my clients when I do speaking VIP days or video content VIP days, or with my one-on-one clients that actually involve some performance tools, some mindset tools, some spiritual healing techniques that help you to embody your message. And it involves clearing those fears and doubts and shifting your judgments and the physical voice. I use the physical voice to help people heal and clear blocks and fears. But all of these are tools that help you to embody your message. Okay. And when you embody your message and your value and your prices, then selling feels amazing. I can't wait to have the opportunity to talk with somebody who might be amazing to support and who might benefit and thrive by working with me. Yeah. And then the last thing, when you have this, you've got the fear and self-doubt is shifting. You've embraced marketing as a tool for transformation, and you've engaged your audience. Your confidence is growing because you're in action. You know how to prepare. You know how to find the language of your clients, and you're following your heart, and you're seeing some results come in, and you can feel great selling. You have empowered your sales. Okay, then you start to have the confidence and the business that you want. And you also start to be able to help and serve many more people, whatever size of business you want. We also have some beliefs around, like, I don't want to be a guru, and I don't want to have $1 million business because then I'll have to work all the time and any of that stuff going on, right? So it's a spiral staircase. We meet our issues, we keep healing and growing and expanding. And let me tell you, that is the single most important gift, superpower, investment that you can make on behalf of your clients and potential clients, because your ability to transform is what makes you uniquely able and gives voice to your unique gifts, method, process of transformation for other people. If you're not expanding, you're contracting. It's the nature of the universe. And as transformational messengers, it is on us to continue to expand, to eliminate our fears, to grow our skills, to allow ourselves to have the freedom and share that message in the biggest possible way that we want to, right? We get to create the life that we want. So it's not about, you have to have $1 billion to be successful. You might be very happy with $100,000 a year. It's not about that, but it's about you having full permission to speak who you are, how you serve in a way that helps the people that are destined and aligned to work with you. All right. So let me be clear. This isn't always easy, okay? It's never easy if you're on your own. I tried to figure it out. I'm very smart and I'm an action taker. So I spent 20 years thinking and feeling that I had done everything, when in fact I was blocked against marketing. I was afraid to charge my value. I didn't even know how to find it. All right. I had to work with somebody on the outside. I had to see a bigger possibility. And so who you surround yourself with is very important. It is exceptionally challenging to step into higher income bracket, a higher visibility realm, a higher, and I'm saying higher, not in better. It's a different frequency. Okay, it's a different frequency, but without people also around you holding and stepping into that higher vibration, it's very hard to get there on your own. Sheer will often ends up contracting rather than expanding. So we can get lost in the busyness or the day-to-day details of running our business. I know I have and still do sometimes. How am I going to expand into how can I have that team? How can I let them help me? How big do I want to be? What's my mission, right? We can lose sight of the big picture because we're lost in that to-do list or feeling overwhelmed about finances or contracting. Yeah. So we can lose sight of the big picture. We need to invest whatever it takes, whether it's investing our time in some inspirational reading and meditation. For me, that is required. I've been living my life on that basis for decades because otherwise I would go crazy. Too many ideas in my head and a lot of self-esteem, lack of confidence and self-doubt chronically. So I'm destined to continue to heal that, right? So much has shifted already. What was I saying? But I had no time to step out and say, what am I creating? What do I want to be creating? And where am I showing up fully and where am I not? Yeah. So we can lose sight of the big picture. And if we're trying to do it on our own, we just won't notice very soon, right? We'll get lost in it. It takes all of our awareness over, and then we fall into bed and get back up, and it's time to make the donuts. I'm dating myself. If you know that reference, say, yeah, donuts. All right, comment donuts if you know what I'm talking about. It's time to make the donuts. So if we're not taking time to work on ourselves, and to work on our business, right? We're running our business, but we're not taking time to step back and work on our business instead of in our business. Yeah. We can get caught on the hamster wheel, and that's all we can see. Okay. So when we want to fast track our online presence, there's some stuff here, right? I've covered a ton of different things, and we can go as deep as we need to or want to on those things. But I want you to hear and remember before I end the call today, I want you to hear and remember that it starts in action and that it's easier to do with support. That means finding like-minded Facebook communities, hopefully like this one, where you feel uplifted, inspired, and have a place to go to for resources when you get stuck. And you want, so if you want to find that fast track your online presence, it doesn't necessarily mean the perfect strategy, the perfect platform, getting things all figured out, buttoned up in a tidy little bow. I tell you, I was stuck for a while. What do I want to create next? What's working? What isn't working? And for a couple of weeks over the last, 2 or 3 weeks, I just said, I can't move. Donuts, love it. Who said donuts? Who said donuts? Who said donuts? I want to see who said donuts. Yeah, Farrell. I love it. Now you can all go YouTube Time to Make the Donuts and find out what I'm talking about and see how old I am. Where was I? So to fast track your online presence, we want to take this aligned, inspired action, but you do want to take action. It doesn't happen in your bubble and then you deliver it out to the world and all of a sudden it starts working. That's just not the way it goes. Yeah. And you want to have support. I consider myself your greatest champion, your biggest champion. And I often talk and teach, you can find other trainings here in the group about having a champion versus a critic. And we can do more on that. If you want to hear more about champion versus a critic, I can do a whole training on that if you want to. Just type it in the comments and I'll do that. I was saying, I'm all over the map, be with me. I was saying that I got really stuck because I didn't have clarity, and I wanted, even, at where I am now in my business, I wanted to have and it's so elusive, this step-by-step marketing strategy for the next 30 days, and it's going to lead to this. And I even have the visibility strategy map for those of you who've downloaded that gift. And it's a really great system to create your own customized visibility strategy. And I couldn't feel mine. I couldn't find mine. No matter how hard I tried to make myself sit down and work on it, I couldn't do it. Nothing was coming through, and I was getting frustrated, and I was getting less clear. So for a couple of weeks, maybe even almost 3, I kind of didn't do anything other than work with clients and, the other stuff, the busy stuff. And I took a lot of downtime. And doing that is what allowed me to get clear and create what I'm doing now. I've decided to run a second pilot of a program I did about 1.5 years ago. And in that downtime, I was able to receive and start to see the synchronicity between the teachings and stuff I was learning from Eben and Christian, and see the books that I was drawn to and the meditations I was drawn to and the thoughts and how I got to see my own big picture. I got to hear and see and feel and connect to my aligned transformational message, and I'm bringing it out to you. And this training, if you're on my email list, I made a video a couple days ago. I'm going to share this training on my YouTube channel and create a series of videos and trainings talking about giving voice to your work. And check out that on my YouTube channel if you haven't seen it. I did upload it there, I think, as I will do with this one. But it took me some time to get into alignment and into my own inspiration, right? And I have a lot of support and mirrors and people who I can reach out to get feedback. And I also knew at some point I just needed to get into action. So I've been throwing this together rather quickly over the last few days because I know the power of taking that action. Yeah. So taking the aligned, inspired action, listening to it, having a process to identify it, and some mirrors, believing mirrors, people in your life to help you hear it and pull it through, having that support, having a champion versus a critic, and then I have to work on the inner game. There's a part of me from years and years and years of practice. I knew I was like, I am in resistance and I can't see it. And I kept asking for help and being kind of cranky and fussy and like, I need this help. And I finally was able to pull that through with a lot of support. Yeah. The last thing I want to share to you, this is one of the secret sauces of all the work that I do in my live events, in my one-day workshops, in the singing, the freeing of the singing voice that I've done, and with my one-on-one clients. And that is the power of being witnessed. Molecules behave differently under observation. So you can only practice so much alone in your head with or without your camera, or write it so many times alone. You must put it out there and be witnessed. And that's one of the very unique things that I have created in my intuitive voice freedom technique, where we hold witness in a very specific way, so that your process, your progress, your transformation of the inner game and the performance presence, finding and freeing presence. This is part of how I teach people to give goosebumps, is in this being witnessed place. Yeah. And it's essential that this is one of the reasons why Toastmasters or programs that are just get out there and do it, just put it out there, can be awesome. But for those of us who have that particular charge, uncertainty, that deep kind of irrational, inexplainable fear, sometimes just putting ourselves out there and getting back on the horse and just get out there and do it. Don't be so worried. That kind of stuff just doesn't work. And it can actually make the anxiety, the self-doubt, the fear, the shame worse. So I'm talking about witnessing in a very specific way, in a very specific kind of nurturing, supported, facilitated environment, and creating a container for this transformation. And that's what I've been doing for 25 years. So I have seen the transformation again and again and again that can happen when we're not just alone in our room, or, for example, alone one-on-one with a coach, or I saw this very clearly with singers, alone one-on-one with your voice teacher. You can do amazing things. Oh my gosh, you should be a star. But in front of an audience, it's a totally different physiology. And that's what I love to help people transcend. And the vulnerability, the charge there, transcending it, doing it anyway with tools, with support, with the transformation happening, is a huge superpower in standing out. Your vulnerability, your authenticity is a huge superpower when it comes to standing out in the online space, especially in the transformational industry, in the transformation industry, for coaches, healers, authors, speakers, being willing to step up and be the voice and the face of your brand and literally use your physical voice and your face, your being, to give voice to your work. I'm telling you, the healing and the transformation that you bring through is literally carried in the sensation and vibration of your voice. I ain't joking. And it happens on camera as much as it does in live, differently, but you can imprint your presence on the ones and zeros of a camera lens, just like you can move an audience live. Okay. So those are the tools that I wanted to share with you today. I will be, I want to know how I can support you. How do you get what giving voice is? If not, ask your questions, comment below, invite friends to come to this group. If they have that, like, I just can't figure out how to say it, or I'm saying it and it's not working, or I have that cringe, that heart racing, deer in the headlights, mouth goes dry, can't remember a thought in my head, vulnerability when it comes to really being visible, really being seen and heard. That is what I'm talking about right now. That is what I want to support you in transforming, because as you transform, that goes back to Marianne's quote, Marianne Williamson. I've quoted her recently, and I will be a lot in a few coming weeks here. Her quote about how, as we are liberated from our fears, all of this boils down to fear, right? As we are liberated from our fears, our presence, just by being there and existing, our presence automatically liberates others. And I guarantee you there are so many of us that don't even begin to appreciate the value of our presence. And especially when you've spent some time and invested in yourself to build your ability to be highly present. Yeah. And that's what coaches and transformational leaders really are doing. Yeah. We're downloading inspiration and insight and wisdom from a higher place in the service of the highest, greater good. So that is what I leave you with today. What are your challenges around giving voice? Is it the physiology? Is it not knowing what to say? And, private message me if you want to hear, if you want a sneak peek, early entry opportunity to the pilot that I'll be running in a couple of weeks. I'm going to open up registration and we'll post something here in the group, and I'll send that out to my list. But if you know that's something that really resonates for you, go ahead and private message me and we'll get you in early. I'm only going to allow 10 people into that program. So, and it's at a pilot price. So if that's speaking to you, let's reach out and have an early conversation. I already have a few people that are enrolled that I've been working with. So yeah. How to fast track your online presence. Eliminate fear and self-doubt, or get started. Don't let it stop you anymore. Embrace marketing, so that you can find your aligned message and find and free and empower and amplify your confident voice and presence. That is what is going to help you stand out online in the coming weeks, days, months, years. I'm telling you. And engage your audience, And then following your heart to financial success becomes a possibility. You start to own your value. You start to, you continue to expand. And as you expand, everyone's lifted up. And embody your message so that you empower your sales and you feel great selling. Falling in love with selling. I never thought I would. It sounds crazy to me, but I can't wait for the opportunity to support and serve people and get the transformation that I've seen so many people get. And keep working on yourself while you go, right? Don't wait to be perfect. Get it out there. All right. Love you. If you watch the replay, be sure and comment. Let me know your challenges, and private message me if you don't want to share them on social media. I am creating content around giving voice, speaking up, being heard, valuing your work, having visibility that actually gets you clients over the next week or two. Specifically, I'm going to be here more than once a week. And I'm also sending things out to my email community and posting on YouTube. If anyone you know will benefit from that, is ready to finally step up, be heard, and share their biggest vision, their secret sauce with the world in a powerful way, in a sustainable way, makes a great impact, private message me, have them reach out to me. I am all ears. I want to hear from you, and I will create training specifically around your challenges if you share them with me, when you share them with me. All right. So much love to you. Have an amazing weekend. I hope you start to really listen into your heart and honor that thing. If I had a realistic magic wand, I would create this, help this community, serve in this way. And I'd love to hear what those magic powers would be if you want to share them here. All right, guys, love you. Mwah. Have a great weekend.